Hours after he was arrested, JNU professor Jorys has been granted conditional bail. Students of the university have been demanding his arrest, alleging sexual harassment. 8 FIRs have been registered against the professor, but the police only swung into action and arrested him after massive protests erupted on JNU campus. And now the police has failed to provide sufficient ground for his custodial interrogation. Apurva joining me live on this story. Apurva, we saw the drama that unfolded. It has taken so much of protest, massive protest by the students of JNU to even get 8 FIRs filed. Initially, there was just one of them. And then a long process before the man is arrested. I believe he got out on bail within 2 hours. What just happened?
Absolutely. In fact, it took the Delhi police 5 days to arrest Professor Jorys, who's been accused of sexual harassment in as many as 8 FIRs, and it just took him 2 hours to get bail. Now, the Delhi police has been widely slammed for their part on not being able to give valid justifications to the court for asking custodial interrogation. Now, there are a couple of takeaways from that bail order copy that we have accessed. First and foremost, the fact that the investigating officer in this case presented his argument before the court while opposing the bail application of the accused professor, saying that the bail application could perhaps cause a lot of intimidation because the accused in this case is a very influential person, and there could be a lot of apprehensions among the complainants as far as misuse of his position is concerned. But the main reason that the court looked at was the fact that the investigating officer had asked for the custodial interrogation of the accused to retrieve and to find out about the call detailed records, to which the court observed that the investigating officer, it is the duty of the investigating officer rather to have recovered all of these details, and it does not really require the custody of a person to retrieve call record details. And also, at a time when all the complainants have already recorded their statements under section 164 of the CRPC, the court does not see any reason why the accused in this question needs to be given custody, and that is the main point. That is the reason why his bail was granted. It is in fact on conditions, several conditions they are being laid down by court. First and foremost, it is on a surety of 2,40,000, which is 30,000 for each and every case, which is 30,000 for the 8 FIRs that have been filed. And secondly, he has been asked to join the investigation as and when demanded by the court and the police. And also, he will not be allowed to go ahead and exercise any of his positions or to an extent intimidate or threaten the complainants in this case. If that happens, his bail shall be cancelled. So there are several conditions after which the bail was granted, much to the disappointment there of the JNU students who have been in fact protesting since day one, demanding the arrest of Professor Jorys. But it is just the Delhi police who's been now widely slammed for their inaction in securing the custodial interrogation of the professor.
You know, Purva, it does seem that this is a huge standoff now in the larger picture between the students and teachers and the professors on one side and the JNU administration. I believe a lot of teachers have joined in the protest of the students. But what is important, Apurva, is the way Professor Jorys is playing the victim card. I believe he says that he is being maligned because he supported the cause of compulsory attendance.
Absolutely, and in fact, that point was also one of the main aspects there highlighted in the bail application as well. If I could just take you through the copy of the bail application, the counsel of the accused, in this case Professor Jorys, very categorically maintains that he is a law-abiding citizen, and the fact that he has never really harassed any students at all, and all of this is just a counter blast of him imposing, or him going ahead and imposing the kind of compulsory attendance which is mandated by the university. And this is an outcome, or a direct outcome of that. This is something that was also mentioned in the bail application, saying that he has never harassed anybody. In fact, another point that he mentions, taking all the 8 FIRs that has been mentioned, saying that allegations against the accused are vague, non-specific, and no complaint has been filed by the complainant before the internal complaints committee or the grievance cell of the JNU. Even this point has been raised by the counsel of the professor, saying saying that none of the complaints have really come to the ICC, which is the Internal Complaints Committee of the JNU, but has directly gone to the police, substantiating their argument, saying that all these complaints that have been made was driven by vendetta because he had gone ahead and complied with the compulsory attendance issue, and it is only because of that that he's been targeted and his image has been maligned.
Right. So that is the defense coming from Professor Jorys, but that does not take away, Apurva, from the fact that Delhi police has failed once again to make a strong enough case for his custodial interrogation. The only ground that it presented was the recovery of documents and call records, which the court turned down and said can be done without custodial interrogation. So clearly, Delhi police has not been able to build a strong enough case.
Absolutely, and in fact that is why there's been a lot of answering that the Delhi police needs to do at a time when it had taken the professor into custody and had questioned the professor for over 2 hours. It is quite ironic that the Delhi police could not really come up with substantiate reasoning and justification as to why it wants to take the custodial interrogation when there are as many as 8 FIRs that have been filed against the said professor, and he was arrested in all these 8 FIRs that has been filed. So it is quite ironic to see how he's been given bail at a time when there are 8 FIRs being filed. Clearly, the Delhi police has a lot of questioning to do. And having said that, there is going to be a lot of anger among the students as well after this news broke out. They are, of course, looking at a larger protest against the Delhi police as well at this point.
To even book a professor who is accused of sexual harassment, not by 1 or 2, but 8 girl students of JNU. Thanks, Apurva, for joining us with your inputs. We'll keep tracking this story for you.